this is Ala Shaheen. I'm a project manager and director of Derby. Derby is, now you can see my face looking different angles because I have two screens. So sorry for that. But just to introduce myself again, my name is Ala Shaheen and I am working for Derby. Derby is the abbreviation of Development Assistance Roadmap Portal in the Middle East. Derby is a platform, and the purpose of Derby is to provide access to consulting firms, to independent consultants, to solution providers, non-governmental organizations, local, regional, and international, to have access to a daily listing, aggregated list of business opportunities, tenders and grants, and individual consulting opportunities. I mean, requests for proposals, requests for applications. So people can have access to classified data, searchable data, on daily basis, so they can track and be on the know all the time until they find the right opportunity in which they can bid, make a decision to bid or no bid, and then they decide to bid for that project, for that opportunity. They write proposal and they submit, and hopefully they win. And accordingly, they sustain their organizations more financially by having more grants, and sustain and expand their consulting businesses by having more contracts. Derby is focusing on the international development scene or the international development sector, and we are focusing on the MENA region. So we are covering the whole countries of the Middle East and North Africa region, plus Turkey, in which, as I said, we aggregate all from thousands, actually more than 1,000 of sources of public online sources of tenders and grants. This certainly saves time and cost for our subscribers, made them, their life is more sorry for disconnection. Do you hear me, Christine? Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So just to continue, as we aggregate these tenders and grants opportunities, we aggregate them from different sources, including large multilateral, bilateral organizations, such as UN organizations, as well as USAID and European Union, World Bank, International Finance Corporation, Islamic Development Bank, and so on. As well as we aggregate opportunities, I mean tenders, requests for proposals, and requests for applications from international organizations, which is the second level after the multilateral, the major donor agencies. And these international organizations include, as you see in the screen here, Partage, and then Secures Catholique, which is I think this is the Caritas, and then the Oxfam, and
sorry, Mr. Ala, would you please share your screen?
Sure. One minute. One minute, please. Yeah. Do you hear me, Christine? Christine, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay. 1 minute, please. Oh. I need to share screen. Oh. Yeah. Oh. I'm disabled from sharing my screen, and
Can you try it now?
yes, I can. 1 minute, please. Yeah. So here's a list of the first page of the opportunities of Darby, in which we, as I said, we aggregate all these tenders and the grants opportunities from different sources, larger requests for applications, requests for proposals, to smaller consulting assignments and smaller grants. Darby is used by non-governmental organizations and by consulting firms and solutions providers, including social enterprises and social entrepreneurs. And the most users of Darby usually are the business developers, proposal writers, and grants management officers, as well as fundraising officers who are responsible for bringing in more contracts and the grants to their organizations. And then accordingly, we thought that there is, in order to win in this international development scene and international development sector, organizations need to know how to write proposals, because it's all about proposals. They send the request for a proposal, you download the request for proposal using Darby. Darby provide you with a couple of important information that supports you to provide winning proposals, such as, for instance, here is I'm sharing one of the opportunities. 1 minute, please. The internet is very bad. So Darby shares business intelligence information for help proposal writers to develop a competitive winning proposal, such as more information about the client organization, recommended consultants, individual consultants for that assignment. Here is, for instance, because it's amazingly, it's very trying to open the opportunity to show you what kind of other information that Darby provide for our subscribers. Anyway, we provide this information, such as more information about the client, recommended consultants, recommended consulting firms, or recommended NGOs who could be partnering for that opportunity. And this kind of information support our proposal writers and business developers of our subscribers to develop, to have the right information that they can set up themselves up for a winning proposal. Of course, we give them even a history of all the procurement notices issued by the client organization. This provide more understanding of the client organization and so on. So we thought that writing proposals is a very important step for our members and for anyone who would like to work into the international aid. And we thought to run today's webinar on how to write your proposal in a faster and quicker manner, not only faster and quicker, but also to run your to develop and write your proposal that win. So I will share my screen again with I will share my screen again with the presentation of today. Presentation. 1 minute. Okay. Here we are. So it's a couple of 6 steps for writing proposals that are faster. And actually, the current situation is that clients usually and sometimes provide us as consulting firms or non-governmental organizations. Most probably the consulting firms more than the non-governmental organizations. I mean, for the grant situation. But for the contracts situation, clients, donor agencies, we call them clients, or international organizations in which we track. So we track donor agencies, funding agencies, international organizations, Arab foundations as well. They sometimes provide few days to several days before the deadline of submitting a proposal. And this has been seen as a trend lately, which is not great trend. It's due to client organizations issues. Because it's here to have a great proposal, you need to have time to prepare your proposal. And even the international standard for timing is a 1 month. It's almost 30 days to prepare your proposal and submit. But usually what we can see recently in the request for proposals we aggregate on Derby, that sometimes they give 3 days or 4 days to submit a proposal, up to 10 days or 1 week or 2 weeks. Usually these are little time for proposal writers to prepare proposal confidently, appropriately, and winning. The second thing, the request for proposal itself, the TOR, the terms of reference, and the RFPs that from our experience uploading pins, yani 60, 70, no more even weekly of requests for proposals, requests for applications. Usually the request for RFP is poorly written, and all the information is scattered everywhere, all over the place of the RFP. Even sometimes about these RFPs, either 2 pages or 1 page, or even and not well written, where client concerns, client issues are not clearly defined, as well as the scope of requirements is not even clearly defined. That's why you can see very big differences in costs coming up, because someone understands the scope of work different than that other one. So everyone is anticipating because of the non-clarity of the request for proposals itself. Clients, they don't spend enough time for writing their RFPs properly. Though the several RFPs, like the UN organizations, have their own template of an RFP that is 30 to 40 pages. But lately, we found that this scope of work and the requirements that are requested from client organizations are poorly written. This again urges we as proposal writers and implementing partners of consulting firms and NGOs, we need more time to understand, we need more time to read, we need more time to search. So in order to prepare a proposal, where the clients give several days for people to write their proposals, very short time before the submission deadline. The third point here about the current situation, that the fourth point that which is important, that we are entitled, we should write more proposals, because companies that grow aggressively in the market, they write more proposals so they can win more. Of course, the winning rate should always organizations improve their winning rate by submitting only proposals that or opportunities that matches their their capabilities, that matches their mission and vision, that matches their areas of expertise. So they don't just submitting proposals to any opportunity. They submit opportunities for strategic opportunities. Organizations all the time should have a systemic bid or no bid decision to select the right strategic opportunity to submit their proposals for, so they can increase their winning rate. But that's the situation is time is very little given us, the clients give implementing partners little time to submit proposals. 2, RFPs are poorly written. 3, RFP requirements scattered all over the place of the document. 4, that we are entitled to write as much as proposals as we can, so we can win more, and we can get, we can secure our organizations of the contracts and of the grants. Contracts and grants are the fuel of organizations. Important. No organization, no consulting firm can do the work without securing clients and securing financial agreements, which usually in the international development sector comes as a result of proposal writing. And even sometimes these business development departments or proposal writers or proposal departments, we call them proposals machines. The proposal writer usually has to, in order to write, what makes the process complicated of writing the proposal, that that the proposal writer they think of many things at the same time, and he or she has to read and to understand and to get a solution for all of whatever is in their whatever are in their heads. For instance, proposal writer usually is concerned of the proposal management, how they can manage the schedule, how they can manage the proposal, how they can manage the proposal team, how they can manage their technical advisors, how they can manage the timing, the schedule itself until the submission date. They have in their minds one of the most important parts of the proposal is the solution or the technical approach they would like to propose. They, in their minds, usually, what are the messages, the key messages, and the winning themes that they need to write in the proposal, so the proposal would be competitive and winning. And third, the fourth issue they think of is the proposal writing section. Who is going to write these sections, the different sections of the proposal document? For instance, the solution, the methodology, the activities, the work plan, the management approach, the performance monitoring. Who's going to write? The company overall experience and company project experience, the personnel and the CVs, and the key experts. These are several sections of the proposal, so the writing assignments. So he's concerned about who is going to write when. And then also he is concerned as a proposal manager of the price that he has to put and to win. So there are several items that are running at the same time in the head of the proposal manager or the proposal writer or the bid manager or the tender engineer, whatever the name is, which concerns of developing this proposal, including proposal management, proposal schedule, solutions and methodology, technical approach. What are the winning themes and the messages that he or she has to focus on and to spread all over the proposal document? And who's going to write proposal writing assignments and the location and allocation of time and the price to win? So he or she thinks of all of these together, and where again he or she is constrained with little time to submit the proposal. So how he can get all of these together and try to submit the proposal more quicker and more faster? What complicates the situation again, that he or she has to make sure that their proposals pass the what you call 3 C's, which I mean that the proposal should be compliant. This is the first C. The proposal should be client-focused. This is the second C. The proposal should be compelling, attractive, and persuasive. These are the three minimum C's that a proposal manager, proposal writer considers while writing his proposal. Again, in the very short time to submit a proposal. That he has to consider while he's writing that his proposal or her proposal is compliant with the requirements and the request for proposal, instructions, and the scope of work required. So he has to make sure that he understands the RFP. He has to make sure that he do the research enough to understand the RFP by understanding the client organization more. He has to make sure that he or she understand activities to be done. These activities will be costed by the end of the day, in which he has to consider this price to win. And he or she should also sometimes understand the hidden requirements in the RFP. So this RFP should be compliant to pass, compliant with the requirements, compliant with what is written in the very poorly scattered, non-clarified request for proposals. As I said, where we have seen lately, especially coming from international organizations, even at the local level, these RFPs are weak. So he has to be compliant with this. And he or she has to be client-focused, how their proposal should fill in and satisfy clients' issues, clients' concerns, project issues, project concerns of that specific assignment. And he or she should write the proposal that is compelling, persuasive, convincing, evidence-based. All of these make a proposal compelling. Convincing, which equals persuasiveness, evidence-based solutions, and backing up with all the qualifications that we have, and connect these qualifications to the activities that he is proposing. So it's to be compelling, connected with each other. The puzzle game and the story to tell is clear. So this is other constraints that the proposal manager is in that situation. So in a nutshell, a proposal manager usually is constrained by the various requirements of the request for proposals, how to make good solutions, how to think of a price to win, and how to make his or her proposal compliant, client-focused, and compelling. All of this are in the way of thinking the proposal manager is thinking of, in order to put the words and the sentences into the several pages to submit a proposal on time, faster because of the very near deadlines usually given, as well as proposals, not only submitting proposals quicker and faster, but the purpose is to win by the end of the day. So proposals as well to win. So faster and winning. This is where we think the situation, المعطيات that the proposal manager, proposal writer, bid manager is living through once the RFP hits her or his desk. From this slide, the overwhelming issues to think of. Again, the proposal management, what is the solution methodology, what are the winning themes, the proposal writing allocation and distribution of work with the proposal team, and the price to win, as well as he has to have proposal compliant, client-focused, and compelling. This is where we think the proposal writer in that situation, and here he has to fight and to struggle against all of these parameters in order to prepare a winning proposal. And let me ask you, do you think there are other parameters proposal writers are facing when the RFP hits there on the ground? What are the challenges? And the time is very small, that deadline is short. What are the challenges proposal writers face at that time? I just mentioned several challenges: management of the proposal team and the proposal schedule, the definition and the brainstorming of the solution and the technical approach, the methodology, the winning themes that he has or she has to write and develop, the proposal writing allocation, who is going to do what, who is going to write the executive summary, who is going to write the management approach, who is going to do the work plan, who's going to search and find the CVs and the personnel and write about them. And he has to think the challenge is price to win. And the other challenges, that the proposal should be compliant, client-focused, and compelling. I just revised myself twice. I repeated myself twice. So the question to you guys, what are the challenges proposal writers face? If you can raise your hand, and I can see, I can allow you to I'm just admitting people who are coming to attend. Please, yeah. Who has a question or who has something to add here? What are the challenges other than what I have mentioned proposal writers face? To have a clear project design and idea that meet objectives. Excellent. Yes. Thank you, Zoghbi. Karen. Yes, this is one of the most highly rated evaluation criteria, which is your technical approach, your methodology, your solution, your project design, the solution that will satisfy the requirements or the objectives. Which objectives? The objectives of the project, objectives of the client issues, and sometimes hidden issues and concerns. So what are the project design that you will do what they will handle? The project design include this, the technical approach also include your methodological situation, your methods of doing things, implementation techniques, the activities that you will going to invest in so you can produce the outputs and outcomes that you would like to achieve. Yes, this is an important aspect of have a clearer project design is a challenge that the proposal writer has. As we sit here in our screen, is similar to what we call solution and methodology. Who else? From Abir, we have saying sometimes you are worried that the proposal is sometimes designed for a certain agency, so this is time invested for nothing. Abir Ammarin, could you please explain? Could you talk?
Yeah, hi, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Sometimes with big agencies, they have preferred vendors.
No, could you raise your voice, Abir?
Okay, sometimes big agencies, they have preferred vendors or consultants, a pool of these preferred ones. Maybe they've worked before with them or they know them. So basically they advertise, and even as you mentioned, we have only little time to respond, while others, maybe they know about this proposal. I'm not saying that it's a facade or something, but they do have preferred consultants who, when you apply and you spend so much time, you know, sometimes I'm reluctant, for example, to submit for like really big UN agencies, because I know somehow, as I worked from in the other side of the story, I was one of the UN employees and USAID employees. So that's a concern. To tell you the truth, it's a big concern.
Yeah, I understand. Understand well. It's and that's why we usually we usually good consulting firms and independent consultants, they apply their own bid decision or go or no go decision, and this is a method in which make your decision more systemic. And parameters, criteria that are included in this bid or no bid decision, including this kind of, do you have good relationship with the client? Or do you think the client has favoritism or have their own favoritism? And, or do you have a history, client history, saying that, yes, they do prefer certain clients. And so there is no need for us to bid for it. So you don't have to bid for it. And okay, and this comes to telling me, okay, so I'm refusing a lot. I will not be able to apply. I will not apply. But there will be no projects. So what can I do? Because this kind of which is, I understand, this kind of preferred consultants, even if you can say about certain degree of corruption or favoritism, or even if you got the best scenario that they like certain consultants. So what we do, we do this bid or no bid decision, and we start diversifying our clients and trying to seek more clients, and more clients are emerging. So we should not only rely on these UN organizations and UNDP or UNRWA or UN Women or WHO, where sometimes it's so difficult to penetrate such market. So we start looking at different organizations emerging, and this development aid sector, the international development aid sector, is a very complex, complicated, and huge and deep. It's very deep. So everywhere, every day, you find organizations, foundations are emerging, and they're on the ground, and there are small ones, even 5 to 6 people in these organizations, looking for monitoring and evaluation specialists, looking for NGOs to help them, giving them some grants so they can deliver their activities and missions and so on. So it's diversifying your clients' spectrum. And by the way, this is one thing that Derby is doing, because we are sourcing from every place in the world in the MENA region. So it's not only UNDP, and yes, these are still larger organizations and a lot of money, and so a more procurement is there, but diversify your client. You should diversify. Or when those RFPs are coming out from these organizations that Abir, you are mentioning that it's difficult and you are reluctant to apply, you only apply for those really strategic opportunities in which you have to fight for. So if there is a UN organization and you are reluctant to apply, so there is a 10 opportunities out there. For instance, let's have a hypothetical number. You apply only for 1 or 2, and you take out and you take credit of other 8, even if they are suitable. And you're only focusing on those strategic, the same area of subject area of expertise that you have, similar projects that you have done. And this usually, we as consultants, we wait for these opportunities. Here it is, this opportunity I would like to apply for. Maybe this takes 3 months, 4 months, 5 months until that opportunity arises from such donors or organizations that we are reluctant to submit for. So this is the way that you should do. And this is a challenge. And that's why a bid or no bid decision is important. And that's why organizations, consulting firms, independent consultants should train themselves to make this bid or no bid decision in a couple of hours. In a couple of hours, they can say, yes, this is for us, this is not for us, bid or no bid. This is a very important exercise in which makes you a little, first of all, it takes time, but it's a must. It's part of reducing, working faster, because you know what you are doing where are you playing, where are you submitting for on a something that is targeted. So, your project fact sheets that you need to put in, because you know what you are trying to. You are not all over the place again. And this couple of hours is important. And then you continue writing your proposal. I'm not sure if I am as responding to you, Abir, but this is the only way to go out of the fact, and which is a fact, and the ugly truth of international development assistance, of the favoritism, and again, the little time they give 3-4 days. How come you are expecting a competition and increasing the competitive landscape and getting responsive great proposals, which are project designs, as our colleague Zoghbi was saying, Karen Zoghbi, I think. So in 3 days or in 1 week or 2 weeks, still little. This is one way of going out from this hassle that we are in. Then I think Karen has added, thank you, Abir. Karen Zoghbi, I believe, said challenges with NGOs that do not have a large portfolio to track record to apply and reflect their capacities, which renders their proposal weak. Karen, can you explain?
Yes,
Karen?
hello everybody. So
Hi.
I work with several NGOs on proposal writing. And one of the main challenges with the local NGOs who do not have a track record. So for instance, they have never worked with the EU, or if they have worked, they were like a co-applicant. And then they want to apply to big funds. And then if they do not have a track record, a portfolio, then when they apply, this will weaken them, because one of the criteria or the weight will go to previous track record. So reflecting their capacities, even though they may be great at the local level, reflecting this capacity for somebody who is an evaluator sitting in the EU does not give them credit.
Yes, you're right. Look, there is a lot of advices in this area. Usually, I know that we are out of the how to write faster, but usually, let's take this as a nice collaborative. Usually, the advice said, okay, first go and work as a subcontractor or a co-applicant. So try to find the right European consulting firm or the European NGO, join them, work with them, capitalize on the experience that you will have and you will gain, and then you start to apply as a main applicant after you start building your capacity and track record. And frankly speaking, track record is the most important. يعني عشان organizations to live, survive, يعني we as CVs, as personnel, what makes us survival or competing? Your track record, your experience. People sometimes work for no money or little money just to gain experience in specific areas. They volunteer sometimes again. So it's life. الأقوى, الأصلح, the better. So how you be the better? By getting a track record. So organizations should have build their track record. Should work on building their track record. Great ideas, great missions, great أحلام dreams, and great niyat, the intentions, it's not enough. So what I know, if they have great work on the ground, they need to document it. This is a different story now. And those great work on the ground will be documented in terms of impact and results because of the methodologies, thought leadership they have to change on the ground, and they have done great work. Bravo. They encapsulate these great knowledge, العلم والمعرفة, in solving community issues in the democratic governance field, in the environment management field, in the climate change field, in the agriculture, whatever, all the different sectors of the sustainable development goals. So they document these issues even at the local level. And I believe if the eligibility requirements, of that EU project does not allow them to bid as a main applicant because they lack it, they lack the financial capacity, the size of the project they have done, but they have great activities, great niche they have on the table. I believe so many organizations will talk to them so they can put them as a subcontractor and they can increase their competitiveness by adding their element, those small NGOs element of changing on the ground because of the great approach and the great grassroots community-based whatever approach that they have implemented in Lebanon, in Palestine, in Iraq, in any. And larger organizations, international organizations, US consulting firms, European consulting firms would love to have these organizations working with them, and they will run after them because they will add to their winning messages, and they will add to their teaming, and they will add to increasing their probability to win them as prime, where your NGOs, Karen, is working as subs for them. But even this way, they work with them confidently. But طبعاً, of course, they have to bring something on the table. Without any track record, they can't. And yes, there are some projects of $3 million project, $5 million project, $1 million project. European Union or European Commission cannot trust that they give such amount of money for an organization that the maximum they have worked in for instance, is $100,000 over the last 3 years. It's different. The scale is different. Unless, again, they can prove that they have able to, and they have the financial management system, they have their overhead rate are audited, so they have to work a lot on themselves to be able to fight and to compete. It's a competitive landscape. I'm not sure, Karen, if I'm. It's work, صعب, and it's challenging, and people should work for that. Karen, do you have any issue about that?
Oh, thank you. It's very true.
Yes, and usually I advise these NGOs, consulting firms, build your track record. We advise our children when they start graduating, build your track record. Start doing something on the ground and start selling what you have done. Or try to find someone else to join with, and so on. Yeah, thank you very much. Anyone else would like to contribute to this very interesting discussions of the challenges that proposal writers are in? Okay, so in order to write faster, there's 3 main tips. First of all, you have to have a proposal schedule, even if it is 4 days to deliver. I mean, the first day is research, second day is writing the draft, third day reviewing the draft, the 5th day finalization, pins down and submit, even if it is 4 days. So you have to have a proposal schedule, and you have to have a proposal outline. And there are proposal checklists. These are usually tools are equipping proposal managers with, so they can submit in a faster manner. Let's focus on because the timing is very little, as we see in our case, and how can we write faster? The simplest way is to use what we call proposal compliance outline. And this could be done in 1 day, even less. In a kickoff meeting, having the proposal manager as a one-man show, or the proposal manager with the CEO of the organization of the consulting firm, or the proposal manager with the technical subject matter expert. If you're bidding for a democracy and governance, you need to have a technical subject expert in that area, because these are the ones who are going to create the solution. If you are in the climate change issues and smart agriculture, irrigation for agriculture, you have to find a technical subject matter expert who is going to help you writing the solution and the activities and the methodology and the model. So and the best proposal manager is that proposal manager who is the subject matter expert of his area. Yani, it would be a very nice combination. So what we do is usually make this proposal compliance outline, or having a proposal outline. We call it sometimes annotated outline. Sometimes you call it detailed outline. So it's annotated because you add content to it, and detailed outline. And sometimes we call it storyboard here, whereas the following is going here. First, you put the second on the left of this. I can. Do you see the screen clearly, Karen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. So what we maybe this will be clearer, Christine.
Yes, it's better.
Okay. So, 1 minute. Okay. The proposal outline is simply divided into two areas. First of all, on the left side, you will have the section titles. So usually, in order to write faster, you need to have a template ready. Well, a template means that section. So the first page, a title is called executive summary. Second page, a title called company description. A third page, a title called technical approach. A fourth page title, here's a duplication, a management approach, and so on. A work plan, performance monitoring plan. So you put the section titles. These section titles usually either coming from the request for proposal itself, which they dictate that you need to write. This is the way that the sections to be written, or a template given by the client organization, or you deliver your own template. In each of these sections, you start copy and paste. You go to the request for proposal. The request for proposals usually have three main sections. Usually, this I'm saying here the professional TOR, the professional request for proposals. You will not see them all the time. If they currently, as I said, poorly written, this is a trend, by the way. But USAID, the FCDO, Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, the Canadians, the SIDA, the Swedish, the Norwegian, the Belgium Foundation, the Belgium, and so on. These donor agencies, European Union, World Bank, IFC, EPRD, EIB, usually have this kind of great TORs written, and usually we look at three sections of these TORs. The first section is about the proposal instructions. The second section is about the evaluation criteria. The third section is the scope of work requirements. We copy and paste from the proposal instructions. We go and see anything about executive summary. What is needed for the executive summary? We go into the proposal instruction, we go into the evaluation criteria, and we go into the scope of requirements. If there is any, if there is not, khalas, then we continue. Company description. Is there anything written about company qualification in the proposal instruction? Is there anything written about evaluation criteria and related to the company description or past performance record or similar experience? Is there anything in scope of requirement that mentions the qualification of that organization? And so on. It's a copy and paste exercise, so you can lay out the document into horizontal scheme as you see. Then you respond. So this is what we call the requirements of the RFP, and you call it cross-reference from the RFP. These are the requirements. Then we start having our response, which is the value you bring. The response is what you bring. The response is the value you bring. You start putting what are your response. You start putting the subsections that you need to write for each main section. And then, so if the company description or similar experience of the company is like section number 2, then you have the subsection 2.1, you can say relevant experience in the sector of democratic governance. Then section 2.2, relevant experience in Lebanon. Then section 2.3, experience and other related or whatever you would like to add. So you can make the subsection that you need to have. And then you start saying, what are the key points and the key themes that we need to write here? For instance, we say, we are the largest consulting firm. We are the only firm who has been doing such research before. We are the only NGO in the country that has a network of more than 40 other sub-grassroots NGOs. We are the only one who have been using social media successfully in advocacy. So you start putting what are the themes you would like to write in each of these sections. Then you say, okay, what kind of graphics I need to add here? Do I need to have an organizational chart? Do I need to have a map? Do I need to have a photograph of one of my staff who has been doing similar work in that area? Then the number of pages for each section. 2 pages, 3 pages, 5 pages, max. Then who is going to write this? The author, if you have a team of proposal writers, including technical subject matters, or even it's one-man show. And you follow up on this writing. So once you do this table, your proposal is done. Once you do this table, your proposal is done. Not any proposal is done. Let's make a description of that proposal done. This will be a proposal that is compliant to the requirements of the RFP, responsive to the scope required, winning or compelling because of the sections and the themes that I'm using, compelling and attractive because of the graphics that I have, and it is in line with the number of pages. So this is a roadmap, story to tell of you. Once you do this, I think you just copy and paste of what is done in this table, a little bit more narrative, and you submit your proposal. This will make your proposal faster. Not only faster, accurate from the first time. So this will reduce your rework and to rework and rework and rework because you miss something here, you miss something there. It's a mind mapping. It's a very nice mind mapping map. This takes time, like a couple of hours, 4 hours or 6 hours max, in which you lay out everything. You understand your sections, section content, understand your graphics, your messages, and then a couple of 6 or 1 day work of an editing and adding a little bit here. So in a couple of 2 days or 3 days, your technical proposal is ready. Not any proposal, winning proposal, competitive, credit worthiness. Joseph Mas'ad asking, kindly, can you explain the SOW scope of work requirements? These are the requests for a proposal. For instance, objective number 1, objective number 2, objective number 3. The objectives is the scope of work. The activities that you are going to do usually is listed in the RFP is your scope of work. Then you start responding how you will deliver these. So yeah, thank you, Marwa, when you said scope of work. Yes. Joseph, okay, thank you. I'm explaining the explained. Thank you so much, guys. It's interesting. Any question about this proposal, compliance proposal outline, sometimes called proposal outline, proposal detailed outline, annotated outline, and sometimes it's called proposal compliance matrix. Sometimes it's called proposal plan. Sometimes you call it proposal content plan. All of these are the same names. Any question here? Okay, so this is this is the main objective of this seminar today, is what you call to write faster while winning. You have to develop your own proposal compliance matrix or proposal outline in this way. You cross-reference between the requirements of the request for proposal, if any, with the value you bring on the table, with the section content, key points, themes, statements, theme statements, or the messages you would like, as I explained, the graphics to clarify, and so on. And that's why we believe it's vital to plan your proposal well, to reduce rework times and to save your time while ensuring the production of compliant, customer-focused, and compelling proposals, the 3 C's that we mentioned earlier of today. Of course, a good proposal template is one of the most important documents that your business can invest in. It's nice to have a proposal template with a cover page, with a cover graphic, and with the styles in it. A word expert can do it, with tables, nice tables, bulleted items, just format. And then you use it and you start just putting in the information you need to put in, because every proposal document is unique than any other document, even though you can use the artificial intelligence nowadays, the softwares like the GB chat, but still they can bring you the ideas and solutions, but still you need to relate and connect with other multiple layers while writing the proposal, including client messages specific for that specific client, messages for that specific context might be as well into the GPT chat, and then linkages of the graphics or the personnel that you are bringing in. So when you write the proposal, winning proposal is like a pizza, it's like a puzzle game, puzzle section for multiple layers to show. Artificial intelligence may help substantially in giving you narrative, but not giving you winning or competitive, because you need to have this kind of different layers at the same time. Unless the artificial intelligence, you can give different parameters at the same time they respond, while making sure that the response is in compliance with the 5 to 6 parameters. You give them the context parameter, you give them the client parameter, the client understanding the issue, you give them your capability parameter, the personnel and the CV's capability parameter, and then tell them, write for us a technical approach while having all of these into your mind. So it's a good proposal template is very important as investment that a company can do, and it's vital to plan your proposal well before you start. It's a front-loaded activity. Either, by the way, it's a small project, larger project, 3 days to submit a proposal, 30 days to submit a proposal. You need to have a proposal outline and compliance matrix. But this is usually in the first 2 to 3 days. Usually is being done, and from there you start continuing writing your proposal. So it's to reduce rework, save your time, and write faster, is to have this proposal outline. And then accordingly, you have 6 steps to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 steps to managerially that you can do, so you can make your proposal again faster, not only faster, but in a good stand to win. And this is including the following number. First of all, you need to design your proposal schedule, and then you need to design and draft your proposal outline that I just mentioned, that lay out the proposal sections, the key content, the messages, the graphics, page limits, and writing assignments. You need to make a kick-off meeting if you have a couple of staff working with you to discuss proposal capture strategy, messages, listing your project, what kind of project experiences we need to list here, who are the personnel that we need to consider here. So you start running this kick-off meeting, and then you start talk and discuss with your subject matter experts while developing your practical solution and methodology. So this is the way that like 4 steps you need to follow: proposal schedule, proposal outline, a kick-off meeting, and technical approach development in order to write your proposals faster, yet more systemic and winning. I finished my presentation today. So do you have any question here until now? Any question?
Can you give an example of how you fill in the matrix? Or also if you can give an example of how you give the prompts.
The prompts, you mean for the GB chat?
Yes.
يعني it's a different session we can talk about. And the examples of the sections, I'm not these are as I said, here is the proposal compliance matrix, and these are the sections on the left, which is as I said, it's usually given by the contractor, by the client, and where you or the template, normal template of usually there's like 4 major templates, 4 major sections of the proposal: executive summary, your technical approach, and your management approach, and then you have your work plan. These are very important 4 sections. Of course, you can add more: sustainability section, performance monitoring plan, and so on. But the most important is how you're going to do it, how you're going to deliver it, and the requirements. And accordingly, you start filling in the data against each of these sections. But let me. We have a message from Saddam Abdul Qadir. Many thanks for the great presentation on this important topic. I have to leave another appointment. Thank you, Saddam. Thank you so much. Okay, let me take advantage of being together to break you out into different breaking out rooms, which you can collaborate with each other and come up with just brainstorming. The question is how we as proposal writers can make our life simpler, our proposal writing process simpler, faster, and more professional to win more proposals. How can we make our proposal management process faster to win? So you need to consider time, tools, processes, and winning at the same time. So do you think it's you're happy to have this workout rooms? I would like to, yes, happy to have workout from Ghaida. Thank you, workout rooms. Yes, Abir. Okay, it will be great. I'm not sure who's attending, but actually all the ones who are attended here today are either Derby subscribers, Derby members, or either Derby free members who have opted to create their individual expert profile at Derby. And this is an important aspect of Derby, in which consulting firms, our subscribers, funding agencies are reaching out to Derby to subscribe, to see the directory, the organizations, the NGOs, the consulting firms, as well as to see the consultants, the individual consultants. The connection is bad. I'm sorry. What do you mean by the performance monitoring in the proposal matrix? Proposal monitoring is the key performance indicators. Performance monitoring plan is similar to the logical framework in the language of the NGOs, or in the language of private sector, the key performance indicators. So let's divide you guys into 4 groups, and or maybe we have, or maybe 4 groups, a group of 8, in which you introduce yourself, network with each other, and come and answer the question: how can we make our proposal life simpler and faster? How can we prepare our winning proposals faster and simpler? So I'll divide you into groups now. Okay, into 5 groups, and here it is. Go ahead. You have 10 minutes to come back. 10 minutes. Now it's 4:10. We'll come back at 4:20. Then we finish at 4:30. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I just want to make sure that we are on time and we leave in a couple of minutes, so we can we finish the 90 minutes webinar of today. By the way, this is the first type of webinars that we are doing more deeply into a specific assignment, specific item, and would love for anyone who would like to participate in other webinars, so we can collaborate and work into something like this, that what I have done today. So maybe other people can do the same as I did, and we can host you on that, and then you can benefit from your knowledge, and we can benefit from your knowledge. You can benefit from your knowledge, and so it's so anyone would like to have a webinar with us, and to like the opportunity that we have today, it will be very nice for me. So group number, let's start with the room number 1 with whatever. Who wants to talk? Who wants to tell us what they have discussed into their breakout room group? Anyone would like to volunteer? Anyone would like to volunteer? To tell us what they have discussed? Can I ask Abir, do you have anything that you have discussed with, do we have still Abir with us? No, maybe Abir has left. Okay. Lucy, can you tell us what you have discussed, or is it difficult?
Yes, of course. So thanks. I'm sorry for the music in the background. There's we have a shared building and someone's having a party. So we discussed that it's very key to have a very good schedule, especially if you're going to do reviews and multiple parties are involved. We also were saying it's important to understand fully what the company or organization does and what their aims and goals are. So that was those were 2 takeaways that we had in our group. We had a very good discussion. Thank you.
Perfect. So you have to have the schedule, schedule, especially if there are multiple writers involved, and there is a number of reviews of these proposal drafts, as well as you are going to focus on the organization, what the organization has done before, and what they do perfect, and what they have done greatly, and their best areas of practice, as I said, and the goals. And then this will help you push in the agenda, and you push in kickstart faster and mobilizing faster and writing new proposals. Who else would like to add anything? Who would like to participate? Thank you, Lucy, very much for your talent, for your collaboration. Who else? Also, relatable stories or cases from previous work. Yes, these are very important, and as I think people. Sarah, are you with us?
Yes, we discussed to write the main objective for the proposal, and then divide it to sub-objective and write activities that we will do to achieve the main goal. That will help us to see the frame of the project and timeline for each activity and the cost as well.
Excellent. Excellent. So you are doing the sections and the outline, which is the objective, the sub-objectives. Each sub-objective will be written by someone, and then this will lead you to the framework and timeline. By the way, there are some other people who are writing proposals faster. They start not with the outline, but they start with the work plan. So they start with the solution. So they start with the solution. We'll start by doing office mobilization, inception report, training of the trainers, training of the researchers, doing blah, 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 analysis, training, public awareness, advocate, and so on. So they start with that work schedule. Once they define the work schedule correctly, I mean the work plan, then they start writing. And this makes it easier, كمان, لأنه the work schedule, it's another form of story to tell. It's another form of a story to tell. similar than the proposal outline that we discussed today. Thank you, Sarah, very much. Who else would like to add? Anyone else?
Yes, I would like to add a point.
Yes, please, Maro.
There is some applicants that may have less resources than the required number of resources and positions inside the project. So as well, we have to estimate the timing that we can reach different types of outsourced resources that can help us inside the project. I mean technical resources, because whether we need certain certified technical, whether consultants or specialists or any other types of positions, whether operations and stuff, they may have, we have to like estimate the timing of the reply for their acceptance to join the project with us. Okay,
Yes.
so that sometimes takes a long process that we might skip the deadline of submitting the proposal.
Yes. Yes. You mean to get control?
Yes, and also if we need to have to get what can I say, letter of no, not letter of commitment, like evidence that we worked in another project. Not some project, like yes, testimonials and recommendation letters as well takes time to get received from the other technical people that should join with us or should approve our experience in similar projects.
Yes, we all consider these items, the ones that you mentioned, Marwa, as lead items, and
Yes.
these lead items are usually takes time. And yes, in order to work your proposal and in order to submit your proposal on time and to respect that deadline, that which is usually short, is having these lead items fulfilled. And these lead items include, as you said, Marwa, testimonials, letters of reference letters, maybe should be there, you should have them, but usually we don't. So we start hurrying up to speed up to bring these letters of qualifications. This takes time. References from clients takes time. And having a letter of commitment and approval and commitment.
Yes, sorry for the interruption, but I would like to add also that we take time in order to get station, whether for travel and accommodation expenses from another places where offers. It also takes time to get these quotations to add it to the financial offer.
Yes, yes, yes. This is the third lead items that you consider. That's why we the minute we have the RFP hitting your desk, you first need to list all of these lead items that will take time and start working on them out. Otherwise, you will end up with delays and you will not be able to submit your proposal. So these are a lead items checklist. So that's why part of the checklists in a proposal process, with what we said, proposal schedule, proposal outline, and checklists, there's what you call lead items checklist. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Marwa. I would like to thank you all for attending this proposal, this session. Thank you for your time. Thank you for attendance. Thank you for your interest. And if you need anything, just directly communicate with my colleague, Mirvat Musa. She's at communications@darbi.me. And you can call us at the office as well. And we are here to help and hope that we will share with you the presentation and as well as the recording. Thank you so much for attending. Have a nice time and all the best. Thank you.